like they can't be found. A couple bitches turn me down, but they want me now. But I'ma thug it with my girl, cause she gon' hold me down. And if you didn't know me then, I bet you know me now. Cause I'm on a paper chase and can't nobody slow me down. R.I.P. my nigga Q, you know that I'ma hold you down. Keep my head above water, cause a couple niggas drown. DA want us off the street, they say we organize crime. Plus they text it for the drink, it's up to 40.
What's up? We back with another episode of Any and Everything Podcast by two kings. I'm King DJ.
I'm King Perez.
And we back in this thing. Make sure y'all hit that segment right there with the rocket to drop it. This Skippo with the rocket to drop it, get it up. So hit those polls on Facebook. Hit the link and then go to the polls on Facebook. You will see the music. Listen to that. Then make sure y'all hit those polls whether you like it or you don't, right? So that's how we gonna do that. We gotta move quick today. Y'all see the black tarp? We already know about the black tarp. Make sure y'all, any of y'all who got any visuals put in, you know, I have been getting y'all. Y'all just gotta make sure y'all give me time to reach back out, you know. But the ones that have, I will get in contact with y'all and we will get it on the floor. Or I should have said on the table. So, P?
Definitely, each one teach one. So, you know, our community, our networking, our doors are always open.
Yeah.
That's what we promote. We promote black business, black networking, black enterprise. So,
That's right.
You know, this is community based, you know, and we start, you know, from the ground up and we build it.
That's a fact. Now, as I don't know, I'm super excited right now because I'm about to introduce the world to one of my most favorite people that's been having my back since I was a little jit, you know. I guess I was in the streets. She said I was. I thought I was a college boy. She said, no, I was in the streets.
Yeah,
But
you were in the street.
Miss Orr, man, Miss Orr. This was my old college counselor when I was in school. I went to Marigold College, so like I said, I was a college boy. I just was a Kanye West. Before he went back to school and got his degree, I dropped out several times, but I made the connections that I did, and one connection that I made sure I kept this one in my life for sure. You know, I've met her family, from her mother. From her father to her sister. You know, beautiful man as a father. You know, powerful, down to earth, real guy. You know, her sister, a beautiful woman as well. You know, and she just always, you know, been willing and able to pour knowledge into my life as a person.
That's so sweet. I appreciate that.
Yeah, these one of the ones you keep near and dear to people. Like she probably the woman is outside Mama Peaches that could give me that whip. Like, hey, motherfucker. I mean, hey, get yourself together. You know what I'm saying?
Part of the village.
Yeah, and she one of the ones that is dang near what she said go. So and I gotta appreciate that as a person because you don't have too many, especially the road that I felt like I was down. You know. As far as being bad, I was necessarily bad, you know. Yeah, mischievous as fuck, stupid bad, you know. And I was a swingler with the ladies, so when if it was about that or basketball, I didn't care. You couldn't tell me nothing. I don't care about what the police saying or nothing. You feel me? You gotta hear my mouth. So, and she was one of the ones that set me down and taught me like, hey, you need to hear our mouth. You know what I'm saying? If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. So, you know, listen.
Yeah, well, you're one of the DJs, especially, is one of the stories that you get into the field of education for. You get into it so that you can make a positive difference. And it doesn't always come instantaneously, and it always doesn't come with that student graduating and them taking on some big shot job and ... Sometimes it comes in unconventional ways that's still very productive to his life and to his community and his family. It just has a great impact, and it's just always a pleasure for me to brag about him because he, without giving a whole bunch of stuff away, he was that kind of kid that you looked on the news and just hoped you didn't see his mugshot. You prayed, and then fast forward, you see him in the community being an entrepreneur, raising his family, creating business after business, just being productive and positive. It's just, a really good feeling.
As an educator, being able to educate the future and make an impact. And like you say, sometimes it's not one of those stories where somebody graduate and grow up to be this or that, but just, how do you feel like making that impact on people's lives where they come back 20 or 30 years later?
Ain't that old, my brother?
Neither am I.
5 years later, and they express to you, the impact that you had on them.
Right. In education, we have a saying, we meet students where they are. And sometimes it's just a saying. But this is where it actually came to fruition, is that you really have to meet people where they are. Because if you meet them where you want them to be, they're never going to do and be passionate about what it is that they're passionate about. Right. Yeah.
So with that being said, because we getting ready to tap into our conversation, but I want to go into your business. You are an educator, and express to our community what you have to give, and how, if you wanted them to reach out, how would they be able to reach out, or
And my story is a little unconventional. Like I semi-retired from Maryborough once they closed.
Yeah, right.
And
hurt my spirit.
And I said, well, dang, what do I want to do? I have been a director, administrator, and I really didn't want to continue with that role, whereas some people aspire to be a dean and a president and all that. That really wasn't my goal. I really only feel comfortable when I'm making a difference in non-traditional ways. So I always said that once I left higher ed, that I would go back into the middle school and teach. Because the middle school kids are the ones that are in the middle, They're not in elementary, they're no longer babies, and they're not in high school where they're considered a pre-adult. And they're just like the middle child, always the one that's kind of forgotten about. That's how middle school is.
Yeah.
So
Still trying to find their way.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Trying to find their way. And with that, they need guidance, because if home life isn't impacting you to where you're going to find your passion, you spend more time at home than you do at school than you do with your family.
That's true.
So that's what I wanted to do. And my friends and family think I'm crazy for teaching middle school, but
especially considering that you came from a college, like you were dealing with adults, like
you
didn't have to worry about the agony of bad kids. Like it's either at that level, you doing it because you want to do it.
Right.
Kids, you doing it because you're supposed to do it. So they acting up compared to adults that's coming, going to school, getting on, or the one. Then you had the ones that stayed on campus like us.
Right. Yeah, that used to really trip me out. Is that we had inner city Detroit students staying on campus when they may live just 15 miles.
Literally, after my mama passed, I had a house and I still stayed on campus.
Right.
I was like, why? I
Because
just wanted to be in part of what was going on in that environment. Yeah,
get that college life.
That college experience. Yeah.
Yes.
I tell my kids now, like I don't. Honestly, I don't push further education on my kids.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, then to me, we're going to do it, but we're going to do it the right way. It's either through trade or it's through, HBCU. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to where we talk about our people in our community where they care about us, So
having our own tradition.
Yeah. So I teach that with him. Because that's powerful. I wish I would have went to an HBCU,
Right.
So with that, like we got, I don't know. It's just phenomenal, man. Like, it's just a powerful thing.
It is. It really is.
So for you to, man, this Miss Orr, It's like my heart over here, man. I feel like I got Michelle Obama right here, man. Like, come on, man. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing. I'm a geek, man. This is from my roots, man. We talk about community a lot on this show, dog. So to be able to bring somebody who made an impact on my life, it really matters to me, bro.
And I think.
And
educators get overlooked as being role models and a positive, outlook in our community. Because like you say, when we're in school, we with that teacher, or we're around them teachers and educators for most of the part of our day, and for the ones that might not have such a great home life, that teacher is like
refuge,
like their moms or like their dads. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
It guides them in a certain way, because we all stray path, but it's like what you learn, within that path. Sometimes you go back to and you can relate to,
literally,
Right.
So that moral compass sets like, I remember when my teacher told me this, or,
Right.
because they built into your morals and your values.
Exactly.
They added to your morals and your values.
Yeah.
a lot of times, they don't get that, that what I'm trying to
Recognition
say.
or
Recognition is
appreciation,
exactly
yeah.
that,
Or pay.
Right, and that's so true.
Wow.
If you think about
Y'all
even our presidents, even astronauts, everybody has had an elementary,
a teacher,
junior, middle school, or high school teacher.
Right.
a basketball player, a doctor.
Michael Jordan, yeah.
I'm the ones that guided these ones just like
Right,
their parents did.
right.
So why I'm not set in the same esteem.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I've always said if to me it should be the teachers being the highest paid. That way, even if people want to do it for a hustle, some
Right.
teachers do it for a
Right,
hustle.
right.
Now at this point, you're doing it for a hustle. You still getting that bag, and you still true to what you're doing, because I'm set up on this pedestal.
Right.
That it's a Michael Jordan, but Miss
Yeah.
Orr taught Michael Jordan,
Right.
and Miss Orr was the helper that brought Michael Jordan to who he is today. Just as you know what I'm saying. So I do believe that.
Yeah, that is so true.
You gotta look at it. Everybody doesn't have the tolerance to educate. Everybody doesn't have the
does.
tolerance to
She
deal
does.
with. So you got them people that are like, in tune like that. That they are special people.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it, to impact somebody's life and to go in day to day and deal with, you're not just dealing with one personality, one individual.
Right.
You're dealing with
Yeah,
many.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We always say that we're teacher, nurse, doctor, social worker, psychiatrist.
Yes.
All of those,
So many
Mom,
levels.
dad,
Mom,
like,
dad, auntie.
literally confidant for some.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
And people don't understand. Sometimes, kids, we don't listen to our parents.
That's true.
We don't listen to our older siblings, but we would listen to, that teacher that pulled us
Right,
aside and be
right.
like, hey, you better than this.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? What are you doing? What do you want to do with your life?
Because they know how to tap into that child's
Right.
inner spirit, and
And we see it. We see
yeah,
it.
you see the
know?
potential.
Right.
So I got a question. From
Okay.
from being a teacher, a counselor, going down the whole list that you just named, how did that incorporate to you going into entrepreneurship? Like, at what juncture did you say, I'm more than a teacher? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
what-
Well, it's so funny because early on your parents said, I want you to be this. Now, my mom, she started off as an occupational therapist because she was at Wayne State in the nursing department. At that time, they weren't promoting blacks. She had a teacher that told her, you will never become a nurse because you will never pass this particular class because I'm going to make sure you don't pass. Because she had the nerve to put him on, spot when tell him that he was wrong to the class. He had said, and I remember all of this because she just said the story so much and it's so impactful because we don't even hear this today.
Nowadays, right.
Is that this teacher it was a question where they said, the teacher was some type of biology class, and the teacher had said, or the professor said that if you have a cesarean birth, all your births must be cesarean from a woman.
Right.
Well, she knew that not to be true because she was born cesarean, and my aunt, her sister, was born vaginally.
Right.
So she said, no, that's wrong.
That is
So
wrong.
because of that, he held her back. And so
Because
she said, okay, well, I'm going to be an occupational therapist, which now is rated much higher than nursing anyway, but it wasn't her first choice.
Right.
So she became an occupational therapist. And then she wanted to be out when we were out. So then she became a therapist and special ed teacher for K through 12 for over 25 years.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. So that made you wanted to get. So pretty much, what you're saying is she showed you. I should have said she showed you entrepreneurship as a parent. Oh, I can see the equivalent, because now you taking it and you showing it to the world.
Right.
Literally
Right.
at the state of. Like he always say, he said it right when you walk down. Each one teach one.
Right.
I don't know if you
That's
heard him or
right. Yeah.
not, but he said each one teach one, and
and
literally
that's so
you are
important.
actually grabbing each soul in the so
And
literally.
there's so many other things that's entwined with teaching. Like, for instance, now I teach an etiquette class after work,
So you-
twice a week. And it's not because I think I'm so professional or this, that, and the other, but I see young people who don't know.
That's
And
right.
it's like, you don't know what you don't know till
Right.
it's time for you to present it.
Right.
And I just, with teaching and entrepreneurship, you can take your passion and apply it to where it's a need.
That's true.
Therefore, that will always be embedded in your kids, and then you're having generational wealth. You know?
she sound she sound like many episodes before, man. She sound like she's supposed to be right here with us on a day-to-day basis. Shoot.
Right. So do you think it's important, because I know the way the educational system is structured, but do you think they really give you real life experience as far as, you know, kids being taught like to be financially responsible, to
Learning their
basically-
credit,
right,
life living,
life
daily
living skills that
Right.
really matter
Right.
into the world today.
Right. No and yes. No, because it's not formally in the curriculum where they say, okay, you know, they need to know how to bank. They need to know how to balance their
Checks.
accounts and checks and what have you. They need to know how to invest, when it's a risk factor, when it's not. How to go to dinner with some big wig and eat with the right utensils. You know, not because you do that every day, but to show them that you know when to do it. You know, you know when it's, you know
when it
you
should be done.
choose when to
Not
use
to
it.
use it, right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that way, no, they're not doing that. But I think whenever there's an idea, when a teacher has an idea, you know, we need life skills, you know, and then they'll implement a program. But I think it needs to come a time where it's automatically in that curriculum.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important to have like teachers and educators like you, for the simple fact that not only, you know, rolling with the curriculum that you have, but giving them life skills and giving that advice like, hey, you know, you are an individual.
Right.
And, you know, you need to go after things that you feel that you're going to, you know, be great at. But at the same time, you need to learn this and that to get to where you need to go.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So dealing with, because I'm trying to go into not necessarily being traditional, but dealing with what you dealing with as far as being a teacher and guiding to the youth. What do you feel like you give? Because you working with middle schools, you said 8th grade. I almost said 7th grade. 'cause
Well, I
my
do
son
7th and 8th.
Okay,
I teach
7th and
7th and 8th.
Okay,
yeah.
so what are you teaching them or telling them or instilling in them about entrepreneurship at this age? What do you teach?
Okay,
What
I
grade?
teach ELA, English, 7th and 8th. And what I try to do is however the subject is, I try to entwine it to what's going on now, here and now. You know, just like history. You got to make it make sense to them, or else it's just going to go
Right over their head.
right over their head, and they don't want to know about it because it's not interesting, or it's not presented in an interesting way. So I try to pick something out of everything that they can relate to. Like if we, since I teach English, we might do a play on Black history where we just do excerpts where they can actually feel that role.
Right.
I show them movies like The 13th,
Okay.
as opposed to
A slave movie.
exactly.
Exactly. She fit.
I'm the true meaning of
Man,
I
get
don't
that shit outta
need
here.
another
No.
slave movie
Right.
in my life.
Right.
I mean, when you talk about trauma and reintroducing trauma, it's like, you know, when somebody has been impacted by trauma, and it's like you furthermore just giving it to them day after day after day. So
if I feed you fat, what you gonna become?
Right. So it's like, to the point is, I don't want to see slave movie after slave movie, then people saying, "Oh, this was such a great movie."
Right.
Like, what was so great about that
them
history?
dogging us?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many other things that we have done, so many things that we have accomplished. Why do we just focus on that one part in history?
Right.
You know, to say our self-wealth or where we came from.
We know we've been abused. We know we've been treated as not second-rate citizens, not citizens at all.
Right.
Dehumanized time after time. We know that. It's like electroshocking somebody over and over and then acting like they're going to be different. From, you know, you can't do that. So,
I mean, it's, you know,
that's on point.
It's traumatizing. And you get traumatized every time you see that, because I don't know any person that can sit down and watch movies like that and don't feel a certain type of way after that movie is over, or have certain type of feelings about, you know, people in whole.
That's right. 100%.
Well, speaking of, I don't really necessarily want to talk about slavery. I don't consider slavery. Even in slavery, man, we were still kings and queens. Right. But they just shackled us. We was kings, and we was kings with our chains on. You know what I'm saying?
We were so much of a threat that they had to try to hold us down.
Thank you.
But it's always that thing. You can lock me in chains, but you can't
hold me down.
That's
you
right.
Can't chain me down.
That mind is something powerful. Yes.
So going from that, knowing that actually we'll stay there. Actually, being able to going into the war between the Southern and the Northern, knowing that after that we became citizens of America, and then they allowed the black people to patent. How important do you feel that it was important for us to be able to it was important for us to be able to control our own inventions as melanated people? I don't want to say black, because we're not black, we brown.
Okay. All right. That's fair. When I think about that, it's many inventions that happen, but black people, melanated people, didn't get the credit for it because we weren't considered citizens. If you think about 1765, okay, we were supposed to be free, but we really weren't. So just think, if I said, "Hey, massa, here, I done invented this thing, the lawnmower. We can get all these crops down, and it'll save all of us time." And he says, "Oh, a good idea." But he's not going to let you get the credit. He's going to take it as his own idea.
Right.
His own idea. And John Burr, a black man, invented the lawnmower.
Thank you, John Burr.
John Burr.
Thank you, John Burr.
Patent on the lawnmower.
John Burr, thank you. Because y'all know I cut grass, so I've never known that. So that's something that I should have been researching, figuring out, you know. So what was an invention that you, I'm going to say right now, John Burr, for my next question. What's the invention that you feel like you, in today's age, that you can't live without? Like, what's a black invention, a melanated invention? Like, you know, you a woman,
can't live without.
You're black, you know, what do you feel like you need? Is it
that present You know, we in an era where everybody care about their edges.
You gotta be fried, bad, and laid to the side, baby.
The edges gotta be on point, and whether you put them down with gel or grease or wax, they were first put down by a straightening comb.
That's true.
And we all know, and maybe some don't, that Madam C.J. Walker invented the straightening comb, and she don't even like to take credit for it because she more so invented the relaxers and hair care.
I was just about to say the way of hair care,
right?
real.
And selling it door to door. You know, Mary Kay got that.
The
she
same
said
concept.
she thinks she invented that concept. Mary Kay and Avon. No. C.J. Madam Walker did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah. I remember. Did you see that series?
Yes.
I seen it, and I remember. I can't remember the young lady name. The one who said that C.J. Madam Walker had stolen from her, and the whole hair care product.
Right.
You know, and I was like, wow, that's powerful. Right. Even the fact that they chose to make it combative between two black women and just start.
Right.
Yeah, she did this, and this is created by her, but really she stole it from them. So this is what I'm gonna portray on this series, just to let no, it really ain't authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter what they give us or what we take or what we try to have. They always try to distort it and make it something severed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
First they put us against each other because we'll destroy each other. Then they don't have anything to worry about.
Right. But for the ones that make it above destroying each other,
we build
the ones
each
that's
other.
greater than that, then they try to hit us in different aspects. Which is
I always look at it like, we have to stop competing against each other, uplift each other.
Yeah.
Because, I always take it, like me and my brother, I have a clothing line. He has a clothing line. His clothing line is Black Sheep. I wear Black Sheep. I promote his product. He promotes my product.
Right.
My product is Empress. It's not a competition thing with us. It's a networking thing.
Right.
Because we help each other. So anywhere that I fall at or any ideal that I might not have, he inspires me to, boost, whether it be sales, whether it be, imagination as far as, what's the next design.
Right.
Where you trying to go now.
Right.
Anything that he encounters within inside his business that brings him the trouble side, he brings it to me so I won't have, that same, what I'm saying? He's not going to let me fall.
Right.
So
we believe in the, if I know and I'm going to let him fail off something that I know of, I don't do him no justice.
No.
I done already went through my trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? I done already dealt, or he have. I'm sorry, because he older than me. I'm thinking I'm talking to a young dog. No, I thought I was mentor. My bad. That's big bro. My bad. I'm little bro right now. Yeah. My bad. I'm little bro.
But the thing about it is, you got to look at it as, I don't look at it as age.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for the simple fact, no matter if I'm older than him and he's younger than me,
always
he
knowledge
can
is
always
spread.
teach me
Absolutely.
something that I don't know.
That's right.
And I look for that. Give me that, knowledge. Don't ever hold back because you feel like that. Well, I should know, or that I'm older, and you don't want to overstep your bounds. No, I don't know. Teach me.
Right. And that's a strong mindset that you have to have in order to appreciate that and make him feel comfortable in doing that. You have to know that whatever it is, it's only going to make me better. It's not going to diminish me. And on that line, I tell my students, most of the best rap songs, R&B songs are where you've had two talented people collaborate.
Yep.
And so, not saying that they're not good on their own, because they are, but when they come together as one, it's just beautiful.
It's like two heads are better than one.
Exactly. And that's how you have to think of it. He got a clothing business, you got a clothing business. One is not better. We might cater to different people with different styles, because we all have different mindsets. When you think of Tom Ford used to design for Gucci. Now he got he just recognized for being Tom Ford. He don't need the Gucci name. But it's all about putting you out there and letting you be recognized from what you bring to the table.
So with that that might be my title for today. With that being said, so no. From saying that, how do you from dealing with the trials and the tribulations of being a teacher and a young teacher,
Thank you.
and a business owner, how can you express your knowledge to our community and give them like what trials and tribulations, and how did you overcome those things, in your latter role?
Okay, well, one thing is that you got to put in the work. Nothing is going to be, even though you have a great idea, if you don't put in the work so far as research.
You listening, son? I'm talking to you in that camera. Are you listening, son? Make sure you listening to this right here, son. In that camera. Go ahead, finish talking.
All right, you have
Man.
Oh, this is all the way live, people. So, you have to put the research in. You have to, you don't want to take the time. You just automatically want to put it on the market and gain profits. And it really doesn't work like that. You'll be put down to level real quick if you just get out there and try to do it like that. If you just try to fake it till you make it, in that sense, you're gonna end
fail.
up being, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail.
Just press play.
So you definitely, I always thought with my little doggy line, I was like, oh, everybody loves dogs, so everybody's gonna buy whatever I have for them,
Right.
But no, you have to find out your customer. You have to find out your competition. You have to do all the research to make sure that you're in a good position to make a profit, and that you continuously are able to add your passion in it where it makes it different from what's out there.
Yeah. And definitely with like in the music business, I can say like in the early 90s, when I entered the music business, we didn't know nothing about business. All we knew was making music. And the business part of it, I mean, we were I would say dumb to it, because when it came to royalties, masters, and stuff like that, we didn't even know nothing about that. So it's like when people came to us and be like, okay, we're gonna give you a deal, but it's gonna be a deal based on your growth and how many followers you can get. So we're just gonna give you the money to go in, do studio time, and it's like after we did all that and did the music and prepared the album and stuff, they was like, okay, it's our album. So if you don't follow this or do this, you're not entitled to any proceeds from it, because we already paid you for it. So you figure if a young person and you give them like $5,000, we looking at it like, oh, $5,000 is a big deal. But if they take that album and they make millions off of it, all you get is that $5,000. So the record company is making millions, but they gave you such a low budget to deal with, and you owe them that money. And you signed away all your rights and everything. So it dealing with today's society, when we hear people say, I'm trying to get my masters, I'm trying to get, my royalties, and these are songs they made years ago, but they only made that set price, while these companies have made millions off of them.
Because you would have always thought Anita Baker had her masters.
I thought it.
I
did.
And then it took a young guy, Chance the Rapper, to help her.
You literally.
Who saw that coming?
I like Chance too.
Chance
smart. He's smart.
I was kind of shocked when that happened, and I heard about it. I was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Just to be, just to be the legend that she is, especially in the city of Detroit. And, all the things she accomplished.
You would think some things would be given. So
Exactly.
long, like you done did this much. Well, I just, no, it's
or it's
business.
a given there. We know, she's a smart woman. We know she checked up on that.
So how did you separate business with, like we said, it could have, like knowing like Anita Baker is Anita Baker. So how do you separate the business from the passion behind what you do? Like knowing like, okay, you dealing with a bad kid, but this kid could have a milestone of potential. But he's just he don't know. He just got a behavior issue. And considering that you got other kids who you could probably pour into that smart, no behavior issues.
By being very observant and intuitive with that young person, seeing things that the average person may not see. I have a student that she does not produce the amount of work that is required. And she does a lot of doodling and drawing, but she is remarkable. Her art is amazing. So I know for her to do that while she's taking a test, I know that's personal to her. Whether she's releasing something that's mental or, I don't know, just within her, she is producing some end products that are magnificent. So I amplify that. I appreciate her strengths, even though she might have all the words misspelled. But I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful drawing. Now we put that much energy into practicing night by night. You can have a beautiful drawing and all the correct words. You have to build them up.
So it's like you really meeting them where they at.
Okay.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because like I say, I always tell people that when I was growing up, it wasn't a problem with me doing the work. Like I knew everything. Like I felt like I knew everything.
Right.
You know, my teachers would tell my mama, he know the work, he just don't do it.
Right.
You know, look at it. He's taking notes.
Right.
He's just, when it comes time to take the test, he just not doing it. You know, but in my mind, when I was young, I was saying, you know, I didn't really know it, but I knew it. Like I know that I knew it, but I didn't know how to put it on the papers for
Right.
the test. And
Right.
you know, if
Right.
I was the type of kid that I'm the class clown, but if you say, DJ, what's the answer to this? Sarcastically, I'm going to tell you the answer.
Right.
And then I'm gonna embarrass you because you try to embarrass me
Right,
thinking that I
right,
didn't know it.
right.
But when it's time to take the test, I can't put that
Right.
that same energy into that. And now the teacher got the opportunity to embarrass me. I had
Right.
those type of teachers.
Right.
You did all of this, but now it's time to, you know. So
Right.
I felt like, you know, I was dumb, but knowing that I really wasn't in to become the person that I am today, you know, like I said, thank you. You know, being the person that I am today, I see
think
that.
when like at the level we were at as far as teaching, everybody moved on one curriculum and with not the understanding that everybody learns different at a
Yes.
different
Right.
pace.
Yes.
So I think they had to adopt that style.
Yes.
And I think it took a lot of, you know, special teachers and different educators to understand that okay, this person might be smart as far as looking at something, writing it down and computing it, but this individual might take it a different way.
Right.
You know, and go down a different avenue to solve this problem or, you know, make it to the point where they can understand it.
Right.
So it's like that we learn, but we all learn different.
And that's how you have to be able to recognize that. And you have to be, that's 100%. That is, you said it in a nutshell. You have to teach that person how they learn the best. And in actuality, in 50 minutes, you can't really teach 3 different styles of learning to 35 students, you know? So you have to think of creative ways to say, okay, yeah, this test is worth 100%. But 25% you're going to be oral, 25% is going to be written,
okay.
25% you're going to show me in your way what you
Yeah.
can bring to the table and how you reflect what this is. And then the other 25%, I don't know, we're going to pick a different topic every
Right.
week, you know, a different
So
way to address
it's really like you engaging in all concepts. you know?
Right,
So
right.
in
You-
all walks of the child,
Yeah.
if you learn hands on or if you book read or
Right,
if you,
right.
That's
100%. Yeah.
That's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing to have somebody like you that's willing to give that knowledge and that's willing to, you know, be diligent with these kids. Like I said, like you came from dealing with adults,
Right.
you know, and going from dealing with adults that, hey, you either gonna do it or you not. I don't have to
Right.
care. You paying for this.
Right.
To going all the way down to dealing with young kids, not high school kids,
Right.
young babies.
And
you know?
paying top dollar.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Because
Top,
everybody
top,
ain't on no school loans. The school loan
Right.
hit, boy. That's a blessing, man. So we really want to thank you for. We want to praise you, not thank you. I'm sorry, that's an understatement. We want to praise you for being a person that you are in your community. And now, what we always say, we intertwine circles. This is big for us. He used the concept each one teach one. I use the concept intertwining circles because once that circle touch that circle, another loop has to touch again. So that means you done touch my life and you done spoke with me, and now we done intertwined circles where you done spoke to my brother that you had no knowing of, you know,
Didn't
back in
even
the day.
know.
You know what I'm saying?
Didn't
So
even know he was my son.
talk to him, Pat. No.
I mean, it's all like we always say. It's all about the village.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
definitely.
Uplifting the village, teaching the village. You know, just having that open forum to where you know we can be accepted.
Right.
You know, you can understand us at different points in life because everybody is not where they need to be.
Right.
Everybody is not living a certain lifestyle that this person is, but to really engage,
Everything ain't
you
conventional.
know what I'm saying, and
Right.
teach
Right.
from that level. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's a blessing for you to be able to do. Go ahead, man. Please say something to them. Say whatever you want to say. I'm sorry, because we did skip this. This should have been, AKA Founders. This
Well, yeah, it happened. Yes, it's AKA Founders Day, and
on the day that we interviewing her. So blessings to that.
Yeah.
This show will be
Yeah.
shown later on in the day. This is a Black History segment month.
Yes, tried to
so
represent a little of my green, my pink and green.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but 3 amazing sisters that founded. We're so grateful for many, many years of that leadership, and just we got our first lady who's an AKA. We just have so many people, prominent people, and just hopes that it continues to be a sisterhood, what it was designed and built for. More than who can step best at the grounds, but who can actually serve more in the community, and abroad and above, beyond, so to speak. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to be here. It's really humbling when you have previous students want you to speak up, and it's just huge. Like a couple of months ago, I won Teacher of the Month, and I was like shocked. Like I was like, me, really?
You deserve it.
But you do things when you're passionate about something. You do it. You don't expect nothing because you get gratification in doing it, not doing it because you're gonna be rewarded. Just because that is what you want to do. So,
shout out to Teachers of the Month.
She deserves it.
She deserves it. Before we leave, I got one more question, and then we're gonna get to our next segment, because you mentioned AKA, and today is the Founders Day of that. How important do you feel like going into, like I said, I'm not for college unless you're going to a HBCU, even though I did not go to I wasn't good enough. Say no. but
you just didn't know which one.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no recollection, but getting older, knowing, so I gear my kids towards going to HBCUs. And how important is it to learn your way through fraternity, Greek fraternity?
Well, it's not for everybody, and if I'm being totally transparent, my mom was AKA. She's gone now, but she pledged in 1955 when she had to be lighter than a brown paper bag in order for her to cross. I wouldn't have crossed, okay? Right. So some things I did for her, but just having a group of people who identify with the same things that you feel passionate about, be in millions, in numbers, all across the world, it's huge. Powerful. Yeah, it's huge. So if you can identify and whatever Greek group is more attractive to you, then by all means. And then if you don't go to undergrad, but you still have educational ties and say you're working on another degree, you can always join in a graduate.
Yeah.
So it's never too late. Never too late.
I agree with that. That was just real quick. I wanted to ask that. That was something different. That was a deviant. But like I said, we're closing from here, and I want to, continue to praise Miss Orr for an amazing job that, not that you just done in my life, but for what you've done for our community for this episode.
I appreciate it.
It's Black History Month, so we gotta push Melanated Month Week. But going from there. We gotta do it in front of.
What?
I gotta say it. You see, I was trying to watch my mouth all episode, boy. I'm a sailor.
I don't think I've heard those words before. I don't know why.
It ain't what you do. It's how I tell my son. It ain't what you do. It's how you do it.
That's
man.
Right. That's
you
right.
You don't do everything in front of everybody.
That's right.
You normally y'all the ones that follow us. Y'all know there's normally an ashtray somewhere around here. She know what I do, but I just can't do it. I too much respect,
And
But
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Pete, for the fuck you for the week segment.
Fuck you for the week. All right. Fuck you for the week is Andrew Weaver.
Talk to him. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Andrew Weaver, he's educator actually in Rochester. And basically what it was, they was on a field trip in November. And whatever, they was going to the orchestra. And I guess something happened where they had to go to Nikki's Lounge. It was like 140 students or something like that. And I guess Nikki's, the restaurant part was really packed, or couldn't hold as many students, so they transferred them to the club side of Nikki's, which had dance poles, and nightclub life, But he made a big deal out of the students, you know what I'm saying, just because they came from the suburbs and they was now in the inner city. He made a big thing out of them playing on the poles and stuff like that. I mean, if you get a bunch of young students together, what do you think they're gonna do?
Right.
If they're in a park and, you know, where you got the slide poles or whatever, you know what I'm saying, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna play on the poles.
Right.
I mean, they kids. They don't know no better. They don't know nothing about strip clubs and, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, they know. They knew.
They knew.
But they just did.
Some
They
of them
did.
might know,
They were just
but,
playing. They were just.
I mean,
they were just
right.
playing.
You know, he just looked at it like, you know, it's the most horrible
Right.
thing in the world. But
Right.
these are kids, dude. You can't just, you know, assume that they doing this just to be, you know what I'm saying,
Malicious.
mannish or
Right.
be, you know what I'm saying, you know.
They was just trying to get a laugh. They
right.
probably was just trying to
you
get a
know,
laugh.
They just
Right.
being kids.
All you had to do was say, "Get down." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I mean, even I know in life with raising kids, sometimes we have to come out of that shell of being just, you know, aggressive with behavior and just understand sometimes kids are just kids.
That's true.
We forget as adults we were kids before.
Right.
And some of the things that we didn't like oppressed upon us that these kids don't like oppressed upon them.
know.
So some, you know, situations it's not about what you think as an adult mind. Think about when you was a kid. Go back to when you was a kid. Don't look at it from an adult point of view. Look at it as being a kid. Like, oh, you know, we in this restaurant and it's 140 of us. Who the class clown is gonna be the first person that swing on that pole.
You know it.
Just to get laughs.
You know it.
It's entertainment.
Right.
I would have been swinging on the pole.
It's
Yeah, you would have
nothing
been
to
swinging
it.
on the pole.
Or getting somebody to swing on
Right,
the pole.
So I mean,
Or the other.
it's not a thing to look down on or to look at the kids and be like, you know, I expect this of you or your behavior should have been better. No, I
Right.
expect you to behave like a kid.
Right.
You know, so let's be conscious when our kids, and especially the kids in our community and the kids that we have a moral obligation to take care of, let's be conscious that they still kids.
That's right.
That's right.
We can't hold them to accountability as an adult because sometimes these things that we do as adult and think they're unacceptable. As a kid, you free. Free of thought, free of mind.
Literally.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah.
What you call free birds. And we clown.
You wanna add on to the fuck you for the week?
Well, just because I did hear that story, and just think what Nikki's tried to do is accommodate them.
Right.
First of all, they had no clue it was gonna be 140 of them, so they accommodated them in a part where they have banquets and stuff. And they don't. Nikki said they're not a strip club.
Right.
They just had that because some people requested for different parties, but they're not known as a strip club.
But shoot, they should
Say
have
they
to justify
didn't
it.
accommodate them. Then Nikki's would have been on the news because guess what? We brought our babies all the way from Rochester to see the symphony, and then they didn't have enough place for them to eat. You know, it's
Right.
yeah. So
It's almost like a damn if you do, damn if you don't for Nikki's.
yeah.
But
And
he
don't
was
put
in the wrong
Yeah,
for it, yeah.
right. Nobody
So-
got hurt.
Right, definitely nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Which could have happened.
Maybe some feelings, but nobody got
anything
hurt.
in that situation.
Exactly.
So the motivation for the week, I'ma steal Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee say, "Be like water." He say, "Be like water. Fit when the water is in the cup. The water is like a cup. It aspirates as the cup is. But when the water is outside of the cup, the water flows and the water runs and the water touch everything that it can touch. Touch everything that you can touch in life. Don't have no resistance. Don't have no afraid. Don't be afraid of nothing. Don't have no set. Don't care about setbacks. Just receive it and knowing that you can touch it.
Yeah.
It's obtainable. Everything is
Right.
obtainable. If you can think it, you can manifest it.
That's right.
That's right. You want to add on to that? Look, I'm trying to get it out.
That's a good one though, because I'm gonna use that with my students on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Water, because I read something that said water. It's not that water is stronger than a rock. It's just that water is consistent.
Yeah.
So it's steady flowing, whereas that
current.
rock is there. Right. Yeah. So I
even
love
if
that.
it move it this much, it's constantly doing it.
Exactly.
And eventually you will get it across wherever you want to go.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
blessings to have one of my favorites, Miss Orr here. So I'm always think I'm definitely, I don't care what nobody say. I'm her all-time favorite married girl student. I don't care what. So
true.
all y'all listening, y'all better hear this right now. I could grab her from any year. I'm the all-time favorite married girl student.
Yes.
Damn.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
But no, leaving it from there, going to the Rock of the Drop It segment. That is right there, the Rock of the Drop It segment. Make sure y'all hit them polls if y'all like this music. If y'all don't like the music, should let them know. It's all constructive criticism. Right. So if y'all don't like it, y'all better tell him why you don't like it. If y'all like it, y'all better tell them. Stop calling me, telling me y'all like stuff. Don't
leave comments.
Yeah, they call. I got people calling me that's not voting. Like, you not hitting the polls, but you calling me talking about some. Yeah, bro, I like that song that you played, bro. Don't tell me, tell them.
Right.
Tell him, tell her. You like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this Skippo right here will Get It Up. We about to play this one more time. Skippo will Get It Up, and then we gonna go from there.
Skippo. Focus on the milli, nigga. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the ceiling, and in the back of my mind, I'm trying to get me $1 million. Cause a nigga been broke, man, that's a terrible feeling. Nowadays you speaking codes, cause these niggas be telling. They get all up in they feelings, get to acting like bitches. All these friends killing friends, why these niggas play bishop? All these set up as bitches, they trying to get at a nigga. And the judge ain't playing fair, they throwing a book at a nigga. They gave my nigga red 12, a couple homies got L's. Man, I swear this shit is real, these other niggas fairy tale. I know these streets very well, and they ain't rapping what they live, and I'm just keeping